about to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know.
Hey guys, so welcome back to Ashley Caldwell Creative. This is episode 2. But anyway, so let's get right on into it. So this week we're going to talk about Trello and getting organized so you can get more done. When I started my business, I discovered that organization and creating systems that make a business easier is so important. After my first real business day, what felt like nonstop orders, I knew I needed to find a system for keeping up with orders, due dates, and to-dos, and etc. So like normal, for me, I scoured Google and YouTube for the answer to my problem, and I found Trello, a collaboration tool specifically geared toward organizing projects. After doing a little bit of research to figure out how to utilize it best, I set up a free account and was amazed at how such a simple tool could have such a huge impact on the organization of my business, blog, and even my personal life. And those of you that blog regularly understand all the moving parts and details involved with each post. So today I'm going to share a behind the scenes look at how I use Trello to keep up with my business, YouTube account, church job, and my personal life. Okay. You may hear the papers rustling around because I've got some notes here. So step 1, the first thing that we're going to talk about is to set up a board for your blog. So we're going to do that together. Trello is made up of 3 organizational components: boards, lists, and cards. We're going to start with the big picture, which is your boards. Okay. And then we're going to work our way down to the details, which are your cards. Okay. Trello keeps up with projects by organizing them into boards. Boards are for board categories, topics, or subjects. And they're the largest organizational group within Trello. So your boards are the motherboard, basically. They are the big thing, okay? I hope that makes sense. So for my business, I've set up boards for Ashley Caldwell Co., which is my actual business. Ashley Caldwell Creative YouTube channel, which is this. My church media department, which I am... I don't really know exactly what my title is necessarily, but I do a lot of media for the church. And then my personal schedule. Now, I will say my personal schedule, I find I really don't use Trello that much for. I hardly ever update it. I honestly use my Google Calendar mostly for my family schedule. But I am going to show you that it is possible to use Trello even for your family. Just because you're not a business owner doesn't mean that Trello would not be amazing for you. Okay. So within each board's menu, Trello allows you to add members. Each member has access to the board and can make edits, add new items, and other things. So, that's just a few of the examples it can do. This is especially helpful for collaborations and partnerships, and it makes tasks and processes much easier to keep up with. So if you're a larger business and maybe you have an assistant, you can add members to your boards. You could also add contributors and guest posters to a collaborative board if this is something that your business does. So let's say you do have an assistant and you have things that you need or want your assistant to do today. You add them to those cards and those boards and those lists. And so then everybody's on the same page and everybody can see everything that needs to be done. Now, in my situation, I don't have an assistant. I'm hoping that in the future, my business grows to the point where I have to have an assistant. But for right now, that is not the case. Or let's say you have a podcast and you have a partner and you podcast together. This is something that you could use because you could both work on the same board, the same list, and the same cards. And it just makes everything so much more seamless. No, there's none of this emailing back and forth or texting back and forth. Everything is just there. You can just see everything that each other has done. Okay. So like I said, this would cut back on emails and allow each board member to see the entire project or projects at a glance. This feature could also be extremely helpful for client projects. So if you had a specific client project, so like me, one of the things that I do is I will I make brand identities for clients. So like if they want me to build them an identity for their brand, basically they're a brand new business and they have nothing implemented yet, or maybe they want to change their brand identity, I can do that for them. And then I could add them to that specific board, and they could add in notes or make comments to things that I've done. All right, so let's start. We've kind of went over the basics. Let me run through here and show you, this is my Trello. This is my main screen to my Trello. So you can see I have Ashley Caldwell Co. I have Ashley Caldwell Creative YouTube, Church Media Department, Etsy Orders, and Family Schedule. Today we're going to create a new blog board, okay? But I want to take you in and show you each of these boards and how I use them. So let's go to my actual business page first. Ashley Caldwell Co. Okay, and this is how I have mine set up. This is not how you have to set yours up. This is just what works for me, okay? So on Mondays, I have a blog post that we'll schedule every single Monday. So this is something that never changes. Most of this stuff on this list doesn't change. But that's just because that's the way I have it set up. But you don't have to set yours up this way. So make blog post. So if you click on it, now I have within my blog post is your cards. And so I have a checklist here. Okay. So, and I've got 2 blog post ideas that are swirling around out there. Well, we're going to take this and we're going to move it to its own board because this is not functional, okay? Having just my top 5 favorite plugins for business or favorite photo editing apps. Though this is not good organization skills. So that's what I'm wanting to show you and get out of this, why you need separate boards for separate things. You can't keep everything on the same board. Create new designs. I don't have anything necessarily in that board. It's just something I create new designs on Mondays. On Tuesdays, I try to promote Pinterest, promote on Pinterest. On Wednesdays, right now I have nothing scheduled, but that I'm going to get something there. Create sales funnels for my website. On Thursdays, Fridays, add items to my to-do list, which is over here where this is where I move things in and out, in and out, in and out. Okay. And add next week's items to their designated days. So if I have something that needs to go on a designated day for these to-do lists, they go over. So something that I did do this week was finish my Etsy listing improvements, and I did do that. It was completed. I made it complete. I have in progress for green, awaiting start is yellow, and completed is red. Okay. And so because it's done, it's done. So now that the week is actually over, I can move it over here. Okay. Now see, like Friday, this coming Friday, I'm not going to be able to work at all. I am taking my grandma to Springfield. So I will not be able to work at all on Friday. So all of this is either going to have to get moved to a different day. So maybe I need to try to work on this stuff on Thursday now. It's that simple. Move it. Move it to your day. Move it to the designated day that you need. There is nothing complicated or complex about Trello at all. It is super, super simple. and you just set it up for how it works for you. Okay, let's go to the next one. This is my YouTube. I've not done a lot with it. I'm still kind of figuring out what's gonna work best for me. So I still not decided on where I want to record face-to-face videos yet. Because I don't necessarily have a office space. My office is in my room, and that's probably gonna have to be where it's gonna be. So we'll see. So Mondays is a record day. I'm actually it's not a Monday today, and I am recording, but typically Mondays is a record day. I don't know what this is. That must be a mistake. Let's just get rid of it, because I don't even know what this is. So if I record on Monday, then I'll edit on Wednesday. I launched my channel, and I haven't even been in here this week. So I've already launched my channel. That should be complete. So let's change it. Edit labels, complete, done. That simple. That's it. Okay. No work Friday. So if I edit on Wednesday, publish on Thursday. So, but the way this is going to change. Okay. I'm going to start publishing on Mondays and editing on probably Saturday, but I've got to reschedule my board. I guess I could do that for you. So let's add a list. Okay. So Saturday, now we're adding a board. Okay. Saturday, save. Now I don't want him there. That's not where he belongs. So I'm going to put him there. All right. Edit Saturday. Record. Let's say at this point in my life, let's just put it here. I am recording in progress. This one doesn't have that. We're going to make it. All you do, in progress. You could even change the colors if you wanted. I like them this way because this shows me green, red, yellow, like a stoplight. Okay, this is what works best for me. But you can do whatever you want. It is your baby. Okay, so this looks good for me for right now. Okay, as I get more dedicated to my YouTube channel, I will add things in here. Okay, these are things I've already done. Set up and uploaded a schedule. I've pretty well done that. Record my voiceover for Marmalade. Did it, and I launched my channel. It's all over. This is all the stuff I've done. Now, I could go in and archive all this, but I don't want to. I want to see all the stuff I've accomplished in January. So I'm not going to do that until January is over, all right? And then make a list of videos. I'm not going to open that and show you. Let's go back. So here's my church media. This one does not change because I have the same upload schedule all week long. So on Mondays, I set up the post for the week for our social media accounts. I do this because I can automate them. I have everything set up on an automation system. The only thing that I do not automate is our pastor's word of the week. That is the only thing I do not automate. I hand type that every Monday. But then, so all this stuff that I set up is a devotional we'll post on Tuesday. A YouTube video we'll post on Wednesday. A devotional that's the same devotional, it's just a different day. We'll post on Thursday. A quote will go on Friday. Saturday, join us tomorrow on Facebook and Instagram. Record and edit announcements. Already done that tonight. So I actually could complete, and that is done. I did it. It's done. This was something I had to do this week, create a pricing list for our live feed equipment because we're upgrading, and I've done that. I just need to honestly get it to Pastor. Sundays I don't ever do anything, but I do have it on there just to be safe. But this doesn't really change. There's nothing that really changes about it. Okay. Now my Etsy orders. This is the one that I use the absolute most. I use this board every single day, all day long. Okay. So when an order comes in, we add a card, and I type in, like, well, I'll show you in a second. I type in all the information that I want. Once they have paid, let's just put her back here. Okay. So this lady's name was Natalie. She was a custom order. It is past due, but that is not my fault. It is ready to send the files. I am waiting on her. So this is not my fault. There's nothing I can do about that. I have a checklist. This is the description, where if they give me a description of what they want, I put it here. She did not. We just did our thing. And then I have a checklist. Client worksheet, done. I made an Pinterest inspiration board, done. Designed 3 options for her, done. I sent 2 revisions to her, done. Now I'm just waiting to send the files to her. Okay? So once I've ordered and paid, it goes here. Once it's paid, I send it to the awaiting questionnaire folder. Okay? Because it could sit here for a while. If I have several, like the other day I had, I think, 7 custom orders all in one day. So I had a long list because they were waiting over here in this paid folder while I was working on one. So then you send it to the awaiting questionnaire because I want to know what they want. I'm not a mind reader. I learned that the hard way. Then the logo is in progress. I am working on it. It may not even be a logo, but in this case it is. It's custom order logo. Then it goes out for approval. I send those 3 options out for approval. She chooses an option. She has 2. I'm just saying she because it's a her. I guess it could be a guy, but then she has 2 revisions that she can make to that design that she chose. Once those are done, it is completed. Then I'm waiting, which right now is where this one needs to be complete. I'm waiting to send the file. Once the files are sent, they go here. This is all my orders from this week that I did this week. So that's what I was saying. Sometimes I can get a lot of orders piled up in this paid. But, ooh, sorry guys. Before they end up here. Okay. Or here, or here, or here. You know, it takes a while. And I try to fulfill all orders in the order they come in, unless they're a 24-hour guarantee design. Then they get priority over a custom order because I do not have a 24-hour guarantee. 100% of the time so far, I've had that custom order ready within 24 hours. But I don't want to give them that. I don't want to tell them that in case I can't, because that is a possibility. If I have too many orders in one day, it may not happen. So that's how I have my Etsy orders set up. This is, like I said, this is the board I use the most. Now my family schedule, I just don't really use it, guys. I just don't. I tried it for I don't even know, a day, and it just didn't work for me because I just had to, there was too much to change. We have too much stuff going on in our life. So I set it up like a calendar, Monday through Sunday, completed to do, and all that. So I had trash night. I'd have to go in and change that, pay bills, go to the ATM. I mean, it just didn't work for me. Okay. But it is something that you could do for yourself if you felt like this is something that would work for you. This doesn't work for me. I just haven't ever deleted my board because it doesn't work for me. All right, so let's get on into actually creating this blog board. Okay, guys. So here we go. We're going to click create a board. We're going to title the board Ashley Caldwell creative blog. Okay. And we're going to create the board. Now this is the background that automatically come on there. Obviously I don't want that one. So I'm going to show you how to do it. Change background. Photos. I'm going to type out flat lay because that's what I always use is a flat lay image of some kind. I'm going to try to find a computer if I can. There's lots to choose from. This one looks fine. Okay. And then this is what that looks like now. So it's perfect. Okay. Looks like she's writing a blog. Perfect for me. Right. So we're going to title our first list ideas. Okay. We're going to hit save. Our next one is going to be drafts. Q. Whoops. There we go. Had to think about it. And then published. Okay. That's the way I want mine to look. That's, at this point, that's all I need. You may feel like you need some other things. This is all I need. All right. So within your Trello blog board, okay, it's broken down into smaller lists. These are your lists. Ideas, drafts, queue, published. These are our lists. The list will help you create steps and outline a process for your project, okay? So I made the separate list, ideas, drafts, queue, and published. And I'll order them in a sequence from left to right, like this. So that way it's kind of like in a timeline. This is why I chose to do it this way. I want it to look like a timeline. So like you saw earlier, I can drag one from the next to the next to the next. That's the way I like it. That's the way I prefer. But some people choose to leave, like I said, for my church one, I leave everything where they are. I don't need to drag them. Okay. But this one, I want to drag it. So the post will start in the idea phase, then they'll move to draft and land on in the queue where they're ready to be published. Then I'll publish them. Okay. We're going to assign each blog post to a card. Okay. Each blog post is now going to be a card. So that's where the cards are going to come in place. So we're going to have boards, lists, cards. Okay. So cards are a fundamental unit of each board. They're used to represent tasks, ideas, and can easily be moved from one list to another. Like I said, that's my goal. That's what I prefer. So for my blog board, I will set up a separate card for each one of my posts, for each blog post. Whenever I come up with a new idea for a blog post, I will add a new card under the idea list. Okay. So one of the ones that I want to do is apps for not sure what I want to call it, so we're just going to say apps for designing. And basically what it is they're apps that you can use to create thumbnails or social media posts. So they're apps that help you design content, graphic content. So as the post moves into the draft, and then the queue, and then published, and then I will drag and drop that corresponding blog post to which one it belongs in. So I may work on more than one at a time. Probably not, but it is possible. And then it'll just, if I did work on more than one at a time, it will make things so much easier to see the process and where I'm at with each blog idea. Okay. So now we can add more information to the back of the card. This is the back of the card. So I kind of feel like almost like, to me, it's like a note card, an index card. So you can write what you want in the front. This is your card. And then you flip it over and this is all of your information on your index card. That's the way I feel like it is. Here's the description. So here's where I could write what it was like I just told you. What is the theory behind this blog post? What is my ideas? So apps for social media graphics and posts. That'll work for now. because I don't have time. I mean, we don't have time to just sit here and write out a whole bunch. Okay. But you can write whatever you want. Get as detailed as you need to get. Whatever works for you. Okay. The comments and activities section. Okay. And this outlines all the activity that's taken place for each card. Trello allows you to add comments here and to tag members. So here's that. I have no members though. And then there are other, ones. Labels. I showed you that one a while ago. You have a checklist. I showed you that. You create your checklist. A due date. So if there is a specific day that this blog post has to be done by, no ifs, ands, or buts about it, I can do that. And Trello will make sure I get it done. Okay. Then you can also add attachments from Dropbox, Google Drive, from another Trello board, the computer. You can put a link to something. All right, so let's go back to members. So you add a member to your each specific card, and Trello will send them notifications when you make changes. So then, like I said earlier, this alleviates the reasoning or the issue of having to continuously email or text or call. Okay, so your labels. If you have several different boards or cards, the labels feature can help when you sort through everything. Trello allows you to distinguish between different labels by assigning a color to each one, like I showed you. Your checklist allows you to list tasks for each card. I use it to list out each step of my blog process that needs to be completed. So outline, edit. I do the checklist. The title is blog process. That's what I use. You can use whatever you want. Now let's add our items. Okay. So my outline, enter. Edit, enter. Blog graphics, enter. And schedule, enter. Done. Now, as I go through, I can check them off. Okay. Your due date, like I said again, your due date. Trello will help keep track of your deadlines. I use it to plan my time wisely and to keep track of the days and the times to post to go live. So that way I don't forget that I have a blog that goes live every single Monday. If I don't use this, and then also like for my Etsy orders, if I don't use this, I will lose track of, well, when did that order get placed? So am I at my 24-hour market? Am I, this due date thing is a must for me. Then you have your attachments. Like I said, the attachments feature allows you to upload files from your computer, Google Drive, and Dropbox. And it also allows you to attach a link. So if you want to attach a YouTube video or you want to attach something from Facebook. So I write all of my blog posts in a Google Doc. And this is especially helpful for me because I can add it if I had a team. I don't have a team though. But if I had a team, I could add it from my Google Drive and it would add that blog post here and they could see it. I outline my process, everything. But I don't have that. But you may. And so that's something that would work really great for you. The options listed under the actions, they're very straightforward. Move allows you to move the card to a new list and choose its position within the list. Copy creates a copy of the card, keeps the due dates checklist. Everything is the same as an exact replica copy of the card. Subscribe notifies you whenever a comment is made to a card. So basically you're subscribing to that card. Archive lets you archive cards you no longer need on your board without deleting them. In order to delete the card, you must archive it first. With keeping all these options in mind, start creating cards for each blog post idea. As you follow the publishing process for each post, move the card along your timeline of list easily to keep track of all the details. I think Trello is so simple and user-friendly, yet it contains a lot of useful functionalities that allow you to customize it and make it work for your specific needs. I found it incredibly helpful for keeping up with my business, and I continue to find ways to utilize it to organize other aspects of my life. So guys, that's it for today. That's all I've got for you. If you have any specific questions on Trello, leave it in the comments. Let me know, and we'll get it done. And I'll talk to you guys next week.
Already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know.